Engagement is something that happens. It is measured by what happens next. And I wrote a research report about this, free for anybody who wants to get it. It's called, just Google my name and digital influence. And it shows what happens when you design for what happens next. So don't take the view, don't take the comment, don't take the like, don't take the impression. Design for what happens next. What happens next is an experience, by the way. So, in fact, Denise was there when I introduced this, and so were you, Natasha, about it's called the embrace. So I started not talking about engagement because it was such a buzzword that it lost its meaning. So I talked about the idea of the embrace. I have your attention, and you have my attention. I have you for a moment. That's the embrace. I can measure that and say, holy shit, I had you for 6 seconds. You clicked 3.2 pages beyond that, and you led to a shopping cart abandonment. Or I can design what leads to something better. But that's intentional. I have to know the context of what brought you there and the context of what you were trying to do. And there's only a certain amount of stages, by the way. This is all scalable. I know what's going to bring you in and those types of scenarios, and I know the 6 to 8 types of people who are going to hit those scenarios. When you design for the embrace, it's an emotional connection, right? Did you know that regardless of what business you're in, you can make pacemakers. There are 6 to 9 questions that people ask all the time. They go to Google, like there's a human being behind the Google wall. Which pacemaker is best for blah, blah, blah? Which, by the way, is part of the problem because how many of you have self-diagnosed your disease? We're all dying, right? I mean, we're all dying. So the point is that I understand what got you there and I understand where you're trying to go. And so then with the embrace, engagement becomes about the outcome. And that outcome becomes the metric. And there's a certain amount of outcomes that'll happen. You might not be ready to buy. You might not. Maybe all you need was validation. I don't know, whatever it is. But you design for those outcomes. And you measure this stuff. You measure engagement by the effect. Cause and effect. Or change in behavior. Right? So this is why he used the word humanities. I often say, oh, the humanities of it all. The idea is it's all about social science. Psychology, sociology, ethnography, anthropology. When you use technology in all of these ways, essentially all you're trying to do is solve for human issues and human aspirations and human outcomes. Technology just becomes a facilitator. Any other metric is a distraction, yet we celebrate it because it's easy to do that.